All right, back with another Apollo Ghost video. So I recently had some troubles again with the old girl, and it wasn't the scooter itself, it was the tires. The factory tires, which I actually think are in my garbage can. Oh no, I tossed them. Darn, would have been nice. They weren't worn out tread-wise, but what happened was, for some reason, I just kept losing the rear tire. It would go flat on me all the time. And I went through 4 tubes on that thing. It was getting ridiculous. And I went over the rims and steel wooled them and smoothed them out, made sure they weren't getting pinched in between the split rims and everything. Everything I could do to get those tubes not to pop. And it just kept popping. And finally, I put a 2.5 inch tube. So these are supposed to be 10.2 inch tubes, or 10.2.125, which is a roundabout way of saying a 10 by 2.25 tube. Instead, I put in a 2.5 tube. Or wait, is one? No, that's not 2.25. Dang, my math's off. That's 2 1/8, right? Yeah, 2 1/8. So I'm supposed to have a 10 inch by 2 1/8 tube, and I put in a 10 inch by 2.5 tube. Now, in theory, a 10 by 2.5 should actually work in this size of tire. However, what it actually did, because my tire had been somewhat stretched out by some force, I don't know, the hand of God, I'm not sure, the weight of Jim, I guess, but it actually pushed the tire off the rim while I was riding it. And thank God that I ride so slow, because that would have not been fun at high speed. So the tire itself just would not stay on the rim, even when I put in a smaller thickness of tube. So I decided to replace the tires. And the factory tires that were on here, I never had a problem with them, but they're not very good tires. They're made in China, and they're made out of nylon. And everybody knows that good tires are made out of rubber, not nylon. Okay, like ride a bike, ride a motor, like anything that has a rubber tire should just actually have a real rubber tire. So I decided to try some really expensive Italian tires that are going around now. And if you watch a lot of scooter videos, you're probably familiar with PMT, an Italian company. Now, to my understanding, these guys have been around for some time, but they mainly made racing slicks, so treadless rubber racing tires. And slicks are probably fine if you live somewhere like Southern California, but where I live, we actually have terrain here and weather. And because of those options there, or those weather conditions here, I can't really safely use a slick most of the year. So PMT has these 10 by 3 inch general use tires. They're not made for racing. And they're real rubber steel belted radials. These are like legit real tires. They're not toy scooter tires like most of the super cheap ones that you can get on Amazon or whatever. They'll do the job, and if you're a cautious rider, you'll probably be fine, but they're not real tires. And these PMT tires are an upgrade in every respect that a tire could possibly be an upgrade. They have more traction, they ride better, they're much stiffer. The sidewalls are so much stiffer. It's a little bit of a trick to get the split rims on. Once you figure it out, it's really not hard at all. But if you're used to being able to manipulate a super weak sidewalled nylon tire, this is a different animal. This is like an automotive grade tire. Like, these guys make tires for racing motorcycles and stuff. It's legit. So here's the tread pattern. It's very similar to your typical scooter tread pattern. Theirs looks a little niftier, but yeah, it's a really high quality tire. So if you have the money to spend and you want to get a tire upgrade, I wouldn't, if you're not having problems and you still have your factory tires and the tread's still good, hey man, stick with it. Like, I wouldn't just pull off a good set of tires to throw these on. But because I had to replace one, I normally don't replace one thing at a time. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do both of them. So I bought 2 PMT 10 by 3s. You can get PMT 10 by 2.5s, and PMT either 10 by 2s or 2 1/4. I'm not sure. They have 3 different sizes that'll fit on the Ghost. The factory tire for the Ghost is a 10 by 2, or excuse me, 10 by 3. And 10-inch in scooter parlance is the actual diameter of the tire, not the wheel. The wheel itself on this is a 6-inch wheel. So, so yeah, they were pretty expensive. I want to say I bought them directly from PMT, so maybe it's possible to get them cheaper. But I paid like $145 for 2 of them. Yeah, hopefully they're going to last me a really, really long time. But the quality difference between these and the cheapies is it's night and day. It's absolutely night and day. This is a legit rubber steel belted radial. It is not something that you would give a 5-year-old to put on their little toy scooter, which is kind of what came on it. Yeah, so the PMT tires, thumbs up. Now, while I've got you on the horn for tires, I want to talk about tubes because I had a hell of a time with the tubes. And what I've found is with this particular Ghost, and probably is true for like 010s or a bunch of other similar size scooters, run the 2.125 tube. The 10 by 2.125. Don't run the 10 by 2.5. I would guess that the 10 by 2.5 is probably it's a little more tube than you need, and it probably puts a lot of extra pressure on the inside of the tire. What that would do to the tire, I don't know, but I'm sure it's not good for the rims, because if you have split rims and these tiny little screws are holding that split rim together, and you start putting a ton of force on it, that can't be good for the split rim. And so you're looking at stripping fasteners or cracking the outer rim or other things. I don't know. Just don't do the 2.5. I tried it. It wasn't a good solution. And I also had a hell of a time finding a quality tube. There's so many different brands, and I'm sure that the same factory is making all the stinking tubes, so you could probably find like 5 different brands that sell the exact same tube, and it's a piece of crap tube. I mean, there might be better tubes out there, and I just haven't found them yet. And here's the other problem too. If you go to like Fluid Free Ride, or you go to Apollo, or you go to like Voro Motors or any of these other scooter retailers, they sell these crappy tubes and these crappy tires for so much money. So I get my tubes off Amazon now, and I've had really good luck with, oh dang it, I threw the box away. Hold on a sec, bear with me. 1PZ. These are really nice tubes. They're heavy duty. There's the number there. And these are just right off Amazon. They call it the 10 by 2 tube, but it's interchangeable with a 10 by 2.125. Yeah, and it's working great. And they come with these nice, I don't know if they're aluminum. I haven't put a magnet to it, but I think they're aluminum. They come with these nice metal caps that you can stick on there too, which not only look sharp, but are just more durable. I've had the plastic ones break, and not that it's that big of a deal, but you really want to protect the threads on your tube. So you may as well have a nice cap, and it comes with them. And I think it was $10 for the box of 2. So I got 2 for $10. And the rubber in that tube is thicker and heavier duty than the ultra cheap ones I got on Amazon that were probably like $7.95 instead of $9.95. So it's well worth it. So anyway, that's my recommendation. Sorry, it's kind of long-winded, but that's what you're going to get. Because remember, you always get what you pay for, and you didn't pay anything for this. So if you don't like it, tough cookies. Okay? Have fun riding your scooter.